It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hello, boys and girls.
No, ain't nobody want to be a neighbor. That's why he has moved out to the boonies.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another Everything and Nothing podcast with your boy from Brooklyn, and now the boys from Brooklyn, Shannon Ambrosio and the crew. We live in Ghetto Fabulous today, Bellas. You understand what I'm saying? How's everybody feeling today on this wonderful Sunday? What's today's date, Rich?
With my hands.
Mostly?
I feel with my hands. Sometimes with my feet.
It depends.
And if you're lucky enough with my tongue.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
my line of the night. I'm out of here, folks. Thank you.
I don't know if that's a mic drop or that's a holy shit, what just happened. I got one thing to say about that. Ready? If the screaming goat says so, it must be so. Now, listen to me, folks. This is how it goes down at the Everything and Nothing podcast studio with your boy from Brooklyn, Shannon Ambrosio. And we all know he needs an introduction today. Not only did he leave his mind somewhere, the problem is that the rest of his body doesn't want it back. We all know him, the big back, the silverback, the hunchback, and that's of the Sheepshead Nostrand Projects, Big Rich.
How you doing, folks? Here once again, doing Sunday things with Sunday friends that only could be done on Sunday.
Touche.
Salute.
Touche. The screaming goat has spoken. Now, to the left, and I mean all the way to the left, we don't even want him back on the right side. He is the man from the hole in the ground, marine time, sun time, fun time, project time. My boy, Mr. Mike, not Saint, but he's a Claire. Mike St. Clair.
There you go. What's up, everybody? Mike Sinclair. Spending a wonderful Sunday.
You sound like the Unabomber with the glasses too.
In the best of company. What more can I ask for? And that's all I got to say about that.
I'm sure you now listen to me. You are never a loss of words. So we definitely will be. Yeah, we will definitely be hearing from him later.
I'm setting them up.
Setting him up. He's getting his ducks in a row.
I don't know if he has any ducks. He shoots everything, this guy.
Well, he has lost his marbles a long time ago.
He lost all the marbles. I got to turn the volume down.
I think you might have lost yours too.
Probably lost enough for everybody in the Bay right there.
Now, if everybody's wondering, the man with the salt and pepper beard, he got a little at the chin, but nothing on top. I'm not sure if it runs through, but I know I could stick a Q-tip on this end and pull it out on the other side, folks. Without further ado, it's T, not Mr. T. We took away the Mr., but he's still a mystery. Mr. T. Tell everybody what's going on.
What's going on there out there in the world? Loving this right here. Family from the Bay.
Word up.
Can't get no better than that.
No doubt.
Right?
The screaming goat has said so.
What?
I love it. So in case everybody's wondering out there, today's title for the podcast is How to Grow Up Ghetto Fabulous. Now, we all come from an area in Brooklyn, New York called Sheepshead Bay, and we grew up in the projects there. So we did, as children, live Ghetto Fabulous from block to block. So, T, tell everybody what block you live on.
I lived on Ghost Block.
Ghost Block.
Ghost Block.
Yeah. And you had to be
the real Ghost Block.
The real one.
The real Ghost Block.
And you had to be of a spirit of some kind to live on Ghost Block.
Something like that.
Right.
So tell everybody where Ghost Block was. What was the location of Ghost Block?
When it comes to the blocks, that was between Bragg and Bachelda.
Yeah.
V and W.
Yep.
That's Ghost Block right there.
Yep.
On the Nostrand side.
On the
On
yeah.
Nostrand side.
No,
What
let's
funny?
get that straight. Let's get that straight.
Right.
On
Funny.
the Nostrand
On the
side.
Nostrand side. Wasn't even on Nostrand Avenue.
That's what I never
We
understood
lived
about
on
that.
Nostrand Avenue. We were Sheepshead.
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Explain
Yeah,
that.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's leave it to the city, just to really bless that one up.
Rich don't realize he's got the Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan.
That's the Joe Rogan.
Mhm.
We have the Joe Rogans now.
Yep.
That's crazy. Anyway, so he lived on Ghost Block. Which block did we play football on?
Ghost Block.
Ghost Block.
Ghost Block.
They had the feeling. They had the best feeling.
Turkey Bowl.
The Turkey Bowl
Yeah.
every
Turkey
year
Bowl was the best.
was the best.
Project Warriors later
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Yeah, word up.
The best. I still got my jersey. I so forgot to bring it.
Did you?
Such a dumb.
That's all right. Next time we'll do this again for sure. I know that for sure. But Ghost Block, legendary Ghost Block for all the football games,
Yeah.
Yes.
was great. I remember right as soon as it would sno, right,
Oh yeah. First
Right.
snow.
right at Ghost Block
Mhm.
playing football.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. Yeah.
You come out, yeah, you had to put the rubber boots on.
Oh, it didn't even matter.
Oh,
Didn't matter. Any kind of
The
boots,
hat,
even
the
if they didn't
Timbs.
match.
You had rubber boots. I had two Wonder Bread bags on each foot and a pair
Yep.
of sneakers.
Nope. That's it.
Listen to me, everybody out there. Mike, tell them, like, when people think like oh, you're poor. I'm like, no. You don't understand how far poor goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Poor does mean wrapping your shoes with plastic because you got holes in the bottom.
Yeah, man.
Word up.
Yeah, we would we would fight over, besides fighting over who got the prize in the cereal box, that were purchased with food stamps.
Right.
We would hoard Wonder Bread bags for when skitching season
Yes.
came in.
Yes.
Yeah. So you out
Yep.
there with a pair of like Pro Keds
Yep.
and a pair of socks and a Wonder Bread bag over each sock.
Over them.
We used to
You know,
take what,
Rubber bands.
Sunday
Yeah,
papers.
Uh-huh.
Sunday
You had the
paper.
holes in your pro Keds. You cut out the
Yeah.
Sunday paper
Yeah.
Stick them in the bottom.
and stick them in the bottom
Yeah.
because the holes,
Yeah.
your socks would get ripped and wet, and you didn't want that.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything though.
No.
Nothing ever. You could have your suburban lifestyle, more power to you if your parents socially mobilized before ours did. My dad actually did, but he didn't take us with him.
What do we got in here? What do we got in here?
Oh, we got some.
But isn't that funny, right? Like people, they don't register the idea when somebody's poor,
Yeah.
how we all make do with certain things, and it's
Mhm.
only a matter of factly. It's not,
Mhm.
it's not anything like out of the norm for us. We don't feel embarrassed. We don't feel,
no.
No,
uptight
not-
about it.
No, not at all. It's because we were all going through the same thing.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
same
It wa-
time.
So we didn't like really realize we were poor at the time.
Right. Exactly.
Because everybody had about the same stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
So you didn't feel any different. I didn't feel any different.
We forgot what we were wearing because your friends would ask the same question in the middle of the winter every night. Yo, want a slap box? you be in one of the big hallways, slap boxing across
Yeah.
one side to the other until some elderly lady came out of the elevator and screamed at boys, you're killing each
Yep.
other. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. I would never know how to slap box or box if
Or
it wasn't for growing up in the PJs.
Yeah.
Because
Or how to take that hit playing corners in the elevator.
oh,
You heard what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Did you ever knock the lights out and play
Yep.
it? We used to undo the bulbs. If you could get the glass cover off, we would get somebody in the elevator and shut the bulb off, and then there was just corners, like blind man's corners.
We used to ride the top of the elevator.
Oh, remember that? You could
No.
from the inside. We would stop.
Crazy. Stop the elevator.
We stopped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh, you
In
can.
between floors.
How
That's how we
stupid.
used to make the girls scream. When
Yeah.
they were in the elevator with us,
Mhm.
Yep.
make them scream, just open the door.
Yep.
Right.
You could hit the lever, and then we would. My building, we realized if somebody got in the elevator and there's halfway up, you could kick the door hard and it stopped the elevator. So we would keep someone trapped in there for 20 minutes. Usually somebody that picks on you a lot. So you'd come running out of the staircase. But they always yelled, Mike Sinclair, I know that's you. You're dead when I get out of here. So then you couldn't let them out right away because then they know it was you. Like,
Hold on. I got to get paper towels.
there you go. There you go.
You want to see my new boots?
We got we've got cookies by Novelli's.
That was the flash.
Wait, I don't know.
That was the real reason he got up.
Did Rich see what this was?
I did, but it can insult my taste buds with those nasty ass
Yeah, these things.
cannolis.
Yeah, let me just. No, Palermo. Yeah. Cannolis, I'm not a big cannoli fan, but they did fill them on the spot for me.
Well,
Nice.
that's at least that's
At
good.
least, right.
Yeah,
At least
You
they're
know?
fresh.
They did the right thing.
Yep.
Had to get a couple of these 2-3 things here over here
Yeah,
for everybody. One of them to wipe your faces.
Why not, man? There's
But
a couple of good ones.
what's crazy is that we used to do things when you lived in the projects. You did weird things to entertain yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was very different, I think, than the other kids who were a lot better off than us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a real baseball bat and glove, and
Oh, yeah.
I had
Stickball.
enough.
we had a mop
Yeah.
handle. Played
We played
stickball with
stickball.
that
Played
black
stickball.
tape.
I don't
Yep.
know- I don't know if you grew up playing this game. It wasn't a game. We used to like take the half full mayo jar, wash it out, knowing you're gonna claim it wasn't you when there's no mayo left later, and then we take a steak knife and make holes in the lid and go bee hunting.
Oh yeah, I
they were-
remember that.
Remember, they were
Yeah.
the project buildings were lined with bushes and honeysuckles.
Yeah.
And it
Oh
was,
wow!
when we were very little,
Yeah.
it was a very beautiful place to live because you could play tag and go around the corner and wrap yourself around the base of a bush, and somebody ran by and didn't even see you.
Mhm.
And then one day, I think I might have been in the Marines, and I came home.
Yeah, that's
And
it. They took
it was
everything
like- it was
out.
all
Like, what
gone.
happened?
All gone.
Yeah, I was like, this is so bare. What
Yep.
happened? And then they told me all the bushes are gone. You know.
They took out all that landscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on Betchelder, where I grew up, and then I moved to Ghost Block, some kind of torn between the two, you know. But when I
Because originally you lived on our block.
Right. We lived on the
Yeah.
same block. Right.
yeah, 2354 Cliffs building, then I moved to
Right. You were in the
50
double building.
Yep.
yeah, then I moved to the other side, and
Right.
then
And if you don't understand what a double building is, it's the building where the main doors face
Face each other.
yeah,
Right.
Because the other buildings like ours had one door here and then one on the side street.
On the other
yeah,
side.
yeah,
Right.
So me and Rich, we grew up in 3641
No
Nostrand
shit.
Avenue,
Yeah.
2C.
yep,
I still remember the apartment number.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I still remember it.
Oh yeah, I was one.
You'll never forget that. You'll
No.
never forget that.
Never ever.
Well, talk about football real quick. The last night I lived in the projects, I was 40 years old when I moved out. And it's a true story. The day my moving truck, the night before we moved, we had to have one last football game because my children had never experienced that. So Barry Jeter was with us. Rest in peace,
Rest
Barry.
in peace.
Rest in peace, Jetta.
I have pictures of us muddying our children.
Now we're
up.
just eating the cookies because we're
Yeah.
Galvones.
But we had a great little football game. All my children cried just because they had mud on them. And I'm like, you don't need
Awesome.
you don't even know what it's like to run up against somebody like Rich on the turkey bowl
Word.
tool hole and get smashed in your mouth. That's dirt, man. You know, stop your ass crying. You know.
Listen to me.
Well,
I broke my collarbone playing
Yes.
football with us guys.
Mhm.
Yep.
Broke the collarbone.
Three here, 3 broken collarbones.
Jeff Thomas blames me for breaking his. I don't know.
Yeah,
You stood up in the pile. I was coming.
You were coming.
I did my job.
And what's funny is that everybody where we grew up played sports.
Mhm.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Just about everything.
And I mean anything. We all played. We didn't give a shit what it was.
Mhm.
Nope.
Somebody had played. We played football, snow, rain,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Softball, anything we could think of. Man, we outside all the time, never
Yes.
inside.
Oh,
never,
yeah.
never. Nobody, you know, it was
No.
just
The only time you were inside was when freaking it was raining so hard you couldn't stand outside.
yeah. And then
Sometimes.
Right. And not even all the time, right?
Sometimes.
and then I came home from the Marines on leave, and I thought they were slap boxing in the hallway, but I look in the hallway, and Shannon and the crew are popping and locking and
Oh,
doing
no.
windmills, and I was like,
Breakdancing.
oh my goodness,
You remember that?
it was awesome. Every Burger King had a commercial. I still have it on a VCR tape that
Yeah.
Kevin sent me. It's like no one does it better, and then they do this and pass the Whopper.
Yeah.
And we were just like mesmerized because we were over in the Middle East, you know, in a conflict. And when we came back, we saw the videotape. that
Breakdancing.
Kevin- yeah, and we were all sitting there. We're supposed to be Marines, and we're in the back going, you know, like
Yeah, boy, boogie down.
yeah.
So
trying-
Mike Mike's brother Kevin and I, and there was a couple other dudes. We had a breakdancing crew.
Yeah.
And it was me, Jerry, and Kevin.
Uh-huh.
We were all poppers and lockers,
Uh-huh.
and we were called Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Yeah. Better than Vin Diesel. Way better than
Word.
Yeah. Vin Diesel had nothing on that.
And we did everything. Like we did a couple of contests together. We did a big thing in the high school. Then Jerry and I went in the big breakdance contest that was on TV at the Roxy.
I have it on video.
Yo,
I have it
crazy.
on video. Yep. Kevin sent me the big break contest. Yeah. I'll never forget that.
We all went there. Crazy white boys from the projects in Sheepshead Bay representing up in the Roxy that day.
I think Paco was the host that night.
Yeah.
From
Who,
KTU.
Rub On?
Yeah.
We know the place smelled like it though.
But yo, your boy
That and
right
Polo.
here, right? Your boy right here, right? Mike, yo, breakdancing, I love. I was always dancing.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do that. Nah.
I got a video here of my brother Kevin.
I saw that.
No, recently he's breakdancing.
Oh, he's doing it.
He's battling somebody New Year's Eve that's like
That's
22 to a draw. And then I got him in the kitchen on Christmas. I'm not saying
In the Santa hat?
I'm not saying it's alcohol fuel, but he's standing on a towel and he's hitting it. He's just like dabbing and just like.
All right, so break it down real quick, right? So me and Richie was just him and I, right? But you have a herd.
You got a herd.
How many brothers and sisters?
I got 3 sisters.
3
You
sisters.
got
That's
3
right.
sisters, right?
7 in my family.
7.
Yeah.
And you're talking about tight, right? Tell everybody out there the apartments we lived in, 2 bedrooms,
Yeah.
the most.
Well, we had the 3.
You had a
You had
3.
the
You had
three.
We had the
lucky.
3.
Yeah.
Lucky.
You had the
Wasn't
3,
bad.
but there was still 9.
It was a separation
80s.
between us.
Yeah.
Right.
Had 2 older,
Right.
2 lot younger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we was able to work it out.
Yeah. But it's funny how
One of the lucky few.
yeah. But
Mhm.
what's funny is that it didn't matter how many were in an apartment. It was home. Like it really
Yeah.
was. It didn't
Yes.
make a difference. And
Without a doubt.
literally in the holidays, right? You knew everybody
The
was
doors
family.
were
and
open.
Always
Oh,
open.
yeah.
Always
You
open.
could walk
open.
into anybody's building.
Yep.
Always open.
Oh, we had no locks on the door back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Back then, it was
No buzzer.
No,
No,
front
Yep.
doors
Buzzer.
and the
There was no
nah,
buzzers.
no
buzzer.
buzzers.
Dude, intercom. What are you kidding me?
No.
No, there was no.
I was
didn't
kinda
have a-
upset- I was kind of upset when they came to Sheepshead Bay.
There you go.
I was like, really? Has it gotten like that?
Yeah.
We never had that.
Oh,
We didn't have-
crazy.
We left before that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I quickly figured out that you could dial the other side of the building from our side because I was like, why do our numbers start at like 31 or something?
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So I would prank call people on the other side and
Oh,
go,
nice.
I'm a grown man and a school teacher at the time. And I'm like, yeah, you come outside. I'm right outside the building. And I'll never forget Albie, Anna's husband. He came out with a bull worker. I don't know how we found a bull worker in the closet. And we were like, is Albie really coming with a bull worker? Like, got the cable on it. Like an arm.
Listen to me. We grew up with a bunch of strange fucking characters.
Oh,
I don't
bunch
give
of
a
strange cats.
shit.
Man.
I think about it now and I still can't even believe it. Like
Crazy George.
Crazy George
Crazy
in the
George.
neighborhood? No, he's still around.
Yeah, George is
he
still
is.
around.
Oh, I
He's
seen
still
his
around.
ass Friday.
No.
Yes. Seen him Friday.
I gave him
By
one.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Somebody
Crazy
started
George.
some crazy rumor he was
He-
gone. though.
he was dead, yeah.
Yeah.
I seen him Friday.
Brennan
We had
Call,
Poochie.
Poochie,
Mhm.
God
Poochie.
rest him.
Abraham.
God rest
Right.
his soul, right?
Yeah.
He passed.
The
R.I.P.,
immortal. He was the
yeah.
immortals. Huh?
Oh,
He was the
Yeah,
immortal.
R.I.P. Abraham Nimmons.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
AKA Poochie.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like, you only get this in bad neighborhoods. I hate to say it, but you always have a couple of neighborhood guys that's
That-
their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're usually
It's
not
like they're
doing well,
right,
homeless or what have you, but
In
that's
and
their
out, right.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
You couldn't come in there and mess with their
No,
neighborhood. They'd
no,
let you know
right.
right away.
Oh,
You couldn't be a stranger coming to the neighborhood and like try to work the area.
Yep. Word up.
You know? No.
We got a couple of tough fucking homeless people in our neighborhood. They will kick your ass.
Yeah.
we had
Yo, they said Poochie on fire, motherfucker. He didn't die.
no, but
So
these
The
these
immortal.
they were
Yeah.
all former MVP
Yes.
athletes.
Oh,
and the
100%.
the younger kids had no idea that they're messing with the MVP from their era,
Right.
from our
Right.
era, that era
In that neighborhood.
like and I would be like, you don't even understand the genetics you're messing with right there. Because I once watched Poochie.
Well, we got a bunch of people with us. Who's with us? You keep talking, Mike. Tell them about Poochie.
All right, one day
Sarah, Susan,
somebody
Cece,
started shooting a gun at Poochie, and he did some Matrix type
Yolanda.
thing.
What?
Across from Piers, reached out.
Mom, your mom's on.
Ma,
Hi,
Mom?
mom. And but he must have caught it at
Alyssa.
the right moment.
Oh, Alyssa's on. It's another ghetto chick. What up, Alyssa? Alyssa Wagner.
Oh,
Alyssa
there
Barron.
you go.
Oh, Baron was, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
But he must have caught it.
My
right.
windows face
It
your bedroom,
It
see?
disassembled. It came
Yes.
apart.
Yeah.
In
Oh.
his hand. Yeah. So
Miss you guys.
Wow.
Eva John is with us.
nice.
But it's crazy. T, your fondest memory of growing up in the projects?
I gotta say it's that circle grass right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cause that's the only football I got to play. I never got to play sheepshead ball,
Right.
put on the uniform.
Right.
That's me. Bone
That
ball,
was-
strictly bone ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, bone
I
ball.
had good
Yeah,
times
bone
out
ball, yeah.
there. Good
Yeah.
times, good times. But
Oh,
it was,
hell
we was
yeah.
playing the hit squad.
Yes.
Yes.
Big
Yes.
ups to the hit squad.
Big up.
yes.
Or Turkey
Hit squad.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Turkey
Love
Turkey
the
Bowl.
Turkey Bowl because that's when we
Hit squad.
go get.
What about old
that's
time-
when we went
Oh.
against each other.
What about
Right.
Old Timers
And,
Day, which I've never made? Not one.
Oh,
Never been to any of them.
Also, Adam
Oh.
Turkel's team. He had Legion of Doom.
Yeah, Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
They listen, and the Zacchios used to come. Garrison Beach.
Yes.
Yeah, the hit squad.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
hit
the
squad,
hit
right
squad.
there.
Them guys. They caught me once coming through a muddy hole, and all they did was clothesline me.
Joe,
Feet
They
me
were
and everything.
over-
you and
celebrating.
James Lee, what, you broke one leg and two hips, right? Or something like that?
Yeah,
in one season.
In
yeah.
one
the
season.
dude's femur came out. the
Oh,
hip.
what?
Bro, the ambulance, in Marine Park.
Yeah.
Yo,
Should do some Kanasi.
let me
Yeah.
let me tell you
Half of them
something.
were cops or something. Right?
Yeah, let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
Yo.
You couldn't come in
They-
our
they- yo,
neighborhood.
They
Right.
ran an outside sweep. James Lee was in front of me. He hit the dude high, and I just came in and hit him on the lowest end. he was still looking at James, but his hip was by me.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, the ambulance
But-
came and everything. It was bad.
I've told fellow.
It looks like his body's separated.
Yeah.
Yo, and,
Oh no, it was bad.
He was
Yeah, it
trying
was
to
crazy.
move, and the head of the femur was moving like it wasn't.
Wow.
in
It was
the
bad.
hip. But
Yeah.
but I tell people, even people I served in the military with, that we played no equipment.
That's right.
Yes.
Full contact.
Full contact.
Contact.
Full line.
Yep.
Like,
Full
yes.
contact.
Full
Bone
contact.
ball, 40 years
Yo.
old.
Yep.
10
no-
on 10.
There wasn't even any
11 on
treads
11s.
on the football.
Yep.
And it was like, you coming through the 2-hole, I'm coming through the 2-hole, you coming through the 2-hole, come through the 2-hole. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
you're asking somebody, what happened? What
Yeah.
happened? You got
We had a lot of fun.
He had
Lot
a
of fun.
concussion, that was it.
I hung
Crazy.
Hung up the cleats at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the last time I just threw them in the incinerator. That was it.
Yeah.
There's no hanging them up.
I'm not-
You get them
I'm not
back.
coming back.
That's
This-
it. That's
this
it.
is-
I remember a few times coming home after a game and just like going into the bathroom and throwing up
Yeah.
because we were friggin' like hitting each other so hard.
Yeah, man.
I mean, because you would go home and the first thing you want to do is drink as much water as you can.
Yeah.
Man, one glass of water, I'm throwing up for 20 minutes. I did it like 2-3 times.
I got a favorite bone ball story. My best bone ball story is I had to work and I couldn't make a game.
Mike, pull the mic close.
I come to a Marine Park. I'm going by and I'm like, nah, I got to park. That's my team. So I get out. And Cliff, who's not here right now, is a wonderful, wonderful human being and a great friend
Yes,
of ours.
but he should have been here.
Yeah, well,
Shoulda came.
they work called him in, and he's got to pay bills, I guess. But he's picking blades of grass, and I asked him, "What are you doing? You're the linebacker, dude. You're like, we need what? Why are you not in there?" He looked at me. I just pulled up on the scene, and he asked me what happened. I said, "I don't know."
I don't
So
know.
they yell at me, "Mike, get in there for Cliff." And there was some brolic Italian dude on the other team, and he said, "I'm coming up to 2-well, I'm coming up there." I said, come up, mother. And we just met like two rams, and all of a sudden the ball came out and everybody
Sparks were flying.
No,
there was glitter everywhere.
dude, I'm saying,
Rainbows
dog.
shot up over you.
But I knew I laid it on him. I grew up playing football, organized ball,
Right.
Kings Bay, I was a quarterback and I was a defensive end, and I was like,
More
whatever,
like Brett
man.
Favre.
Yeah, I was a center one year. I got mugged.
Oh, we had a
He got
center.
mugged.
Yeah, but dude, I hit this guy so hard, but it was equal, So they're yelling, the ball fumble, and I'm looking for the ball, but it's between my legs, but a little behind me, right? So this dude relives this whole play again, and he tells me what he's going to do again, and I said, "You're not going to do it." I figured he's faking. He's going to run a sweep.
Yeah.
Nope, homie comes up the 2-hole. We collide again. Boom! Again, people are screaming, and the ball is between my legs again.
Mike, talk.
By that time,
I'm gonna have to give him the fucking shoulder strap
here.
here.
All right, here we go. Ready?
You ready?
All right. By the time
You can't get away with nothing.
yeah. But after play number 2, they got mad and took me out because I wasn't recovering the fumble I was causing. And that guy got taken to the sideline. I'm out on the sideline. We look across at each other. I'm just glaring at him like, yeah, and he looks at me and nods like, all right. So I get Cliff in the car, not knowing he had a concussion. And I rode him around for hours.
Not a repercussion.
Oh, he had the repercussion.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Not a repercussion.
and
He always wore that hat. when he
Yes,
played.
the stocking
yes,
hat, the wool hat.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
I
Always
love
wore
it.
that hat.
But it went on for hours, and he kept asking the same repetitive questions. Make a long story short, I had only a red ink pen, and I wrote on a brown paper bag off of a beer I had bought him after he suffered a severe concussion.
Yes, because that's what you need, alcohol.
Exactly.
Then-
Right afterwards.
5 minutes later, he thought I had ESP because he starts asking the same questions, and I said, "Just read that." And he starts going, "Yo, how do you know I want to ask you this? True story. You can
He said
ask
because you are concussed.
yeah. And then he refused hospital treatment, but then he woke up 2 a.m. throwing up, and he had to go to the hospital. It was that bad. It was that bad.
We all went to Sheepshead, right?
Yeah.
How
Yes.
great was it that we only lived 2 blocks from high school?
Shoot.
I love it.
I think that's one of
It
the
was awesome.
one of the
You kidding
perks
me,
too.
man? Up 10 minutes before you had to be in school.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And well, it was good because the projects were right near the school, and all the other kids that came from the other neighborhoods, the better neighborhoods, they had to travel to get there. We'd all be
Yeah.
sitting outside the school hanging out.
Oh, and you could be outside of school leaning on a teacher's car, you
Yep.
know, and there was always some teacher who
Oh, yeah.
was like Mr. Epstein or something would yell out the window,
Get off my car.
car.
"They get off my car," and then there'd be another teacher who looks like a nerd, and they would tell you, "Get the F off my car before I sever your head," and you're like, "I didn't know, Mr. Aronoff or whatever."
Yeah.
It was so.
We had a
tough
couple
like
of
that.
tough teachers in our school.
Oh, yeah. There was a few.
They didn't play.
They didn't play games. Yo, we had a rough high school. First of all, they closed our high school down
Mhm.
quite a few years ago now. But our high school at one point was the worst high school in all of New York,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was not
Yeah, that's-
wasn't
That's
really
great.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
But it was funny. We went to high school. It was extremely segregated, right? Everything was like
Mhm.
neighborhoods. We had
Yeah.
neighborhoods against neighborhoods
Neighborhoods.
against
Yeah.
neighborhoods
Well,
against neighborhoods.
We had the most diverse neighborhood.
Well, because we lived in the projects.
Exactly.
Well,
So
because friggin' Port don't know no color, man.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Word.
But when you came,
No what color it isn't. It ain't green.
Right.
it didn't matter who you were. When you came through the neighborhood and said one racial thing,
You were dumb.
it spread like
Yeah.
from one building to the other. You would tell somebody, yell across to this
Mhm.
window and tell Brian over there, and his mother will hear you in the back, and the next thing you know, the whole crew showed up, and
Yeah.
we would chase them back to neighborhoods. I don't want to
Yep.
name them because we get along with a lot of these gentlemen now,
Word.
but if they're still alive, but
Right. Yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot of things, a lot of people that were outside of our neighborhood that we didn't get along when we were kids, but now,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, what's up? We're
Good
adults.
friends.
yeah,
Oh
good,
man,
we're
when
adults.
we was in school,
Right.
get it.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, good friends now. Yeah.
it was funny because it reminds me, I think about it now, it reminds me of a really bad like 80s movie.
yeah,
Right.
like
Because you'd have the nerds, you'd have the cool, like
yeah,
you had all
Yeah.
the groups.
The rockers, the nerds, the
Yeah.
you know,
it
the
And
cool
it was-
jeans.
was the jocks.
the 80s.
It was
It
the
was
80s.
It was the 80s.
It was really the way it was. If
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I see it. You see it clearly, more clear now. That when you walked up to Sheepshead Bay High School,
Uh-huh.
and you got into that courtyard in the beginning, and right when you're walking in, you can see the segregation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can see it. There's no two ways about it, and
Yeah.
it didn't
And
matter.
we're not talking about
white, black,
right.
this, that,
Yeah.
thing.
We're not talking about segregation like color. We're talking about
Neighborhood.
groups and
Neighborhoods
neighborhoods.
and
Yeah.
what you
What you
wore,
were into, what you wore.
or what you listened to.
Yeah.
The rockers hung
The
out
rock,
over
yeah,
there. The
yeah,
jocks were hanging out over there.
Yep.
You know, and it didn't matter if the jocks did. It was white and black and Puerto Rico. Everybody played
Yeah.
sports. So, but there was that clique, and then there
Yeah.
was the clique. Then there was kind of like us, guys who lived in the projects.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right.
But some of us would hang out with the jocks.
Yeah.
Some of us would be hanging out with these people and some of these people.
Right.
But every,
So
every day when we went
created
home, we
first
went home across the street.
intermingling.
Yeah, we were the inclusive, the first inclusive, I would say, neighborhood just by nature of the nature of things, the way it played out, you know.
Yes.
But we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But
You know what's funny? We didn't know any better, which meant we didn't know any worse. So it wasn't a difference for us. We really didn't have that idea that, you know, we felt out of place. It was kind of like this was our home and this was our section, this was our area.
Or you should be my enemy because you're a different color. Or
Right.
you should be my enemy because you're a different
Religion.
or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
It didn't work that way.
Didn't
We
work.
were all fighting this thing called poverty.
yeah,
True fact.
yeah.
And it was kind of like when you think about it, like even me and Rich, we tell people stories. Before, listen, we were friggin' poor. I don't even remember anything else. Like, you know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but when we were kids, we lived across the street from a Wallbounds, and at 2:00 in the morning, when they'd make the egg and milk delivery with the donuts and the bagels,
Whatever
we'd
it was,
be outside.
right.
We'd be around the corner stealing that
Right.
shit,
I'd have
shopping
to-
cotton,
I'd-
shopping
'cause
cotton,
then they got hip to us and they started
Yep.
locking the fence. So I'd
You
have to lift them
lift
up
me
and
up,
throw them
yeah.
over the fence.
cup some eggs,
You know,
Yeah.
a quarter
Whatever it
milk,
was,
donuts,
yeah.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
whatever we could get.
No, but you had to do that
Yeah.
because I remember opening the fridge up many times, actually hoping something magically.
yeah, something else was
Would
in there
appear.
besides ketchup and lemon juice.
That's a whole other topic. I thought I was.
You ain't
poor.
lived till you ate a ketchup sandwich. I tell you that shit right now.
We had a kid next door named Carlos. He was Cuban. He lived next to Cliff on the 6th. And,
Oh.
Carlos, his mother was so sweet. She offered us sandwiches, and then we thought we were poor, but she gave my brother Tommy and I a ketchup sandwich, and I had never had one, and I actually thought it was nasty, even as hungry as I was.
Right.
And you know, English was her second language. She
Yeah.
was from Cuba, and she was a beautiful woman, beautiful. She had a beautiful heart, and she gave us those last pieces of bread, and she knew to put one end of the loaf on each sandwich to each brother. So I had one regular piece and one end of the loaf, ketchup in between. And she said it's good. And even at that age, I knew to go, yes, miss. So
Yes.
I don't want,
Yes.
of
yeah, I don't
course,
want to
no.
say the last name.
Right.
because-
Yeah, you
Right.
can't. No, you couldn't turn anybody.
You didn't. You just
Down.
didn't, though. It was
Yeah.
different, you know.
You
What
got
was,
something?
what was funny is because when you went into somebody's house, right, and their mom had something on in the kitchen cooking, the first thing they'd say is sit down and eat. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like, hey, call your mom and tell her you stay. No, it was, hey, come in and sit down and eat.
Just yeah.
You know, and whatever it was, you know, man, first
That's it, man.
fried bologna sandwiches.
Oh,
Come on.
Yeah, man. Yo, first fried bologna sandwich, Fred King.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We were.
Miss him. What up, Fred?
Hey, Fred.
Big shout out.
Yeah.
We were going to the Y, and I said, Fred, all right, I'll come by your place. I'll come get you, and we'll go to the Y. All right. I get there, and he's like, yo, Rich, come on in. All right. Monique watching TV. What's up, Rich? How you doing? Hey, Monique, what you doing? And he's like, I'm like, yo, what are you making, man? He goes, I'm making fried bologna sandwiches. Like, shit, I'll take one of those. Yo,
you know
made
what
me a
smelled
fried
good?
bologna sandwich
It
that was
did.
good as a motherfucker.
Listen to me. Well,
And
we did
not
the
only-
bologna battle, remember?
Yep, not
And-
only fried the bologna in the pan, the bread too.
Toasted
Bang,
the bread.
everything was in there. Bang,
Toasted
done.
all up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Or
I'm
like
sold.
grease
This is
soaked up. My sister would make my sister, as poor as we were, she would make just a single egg in a pan if we had it, but she would take another pan and like put butter on both sides, toast each side, and then put mayo across it, and then egg, you know, like it was sunny, it was over easy without breaking. And then that first bite, it was just like
Just oozing,
down.
oozing down. Yeah. No, that's the
Yeah,
best
just-
shit ever.
Yeah, like,
That and a bowl of Cookie Crisp and shit.
yeah, Cookie Crisp.
Yo, we couldn't afford the name brand,
No,
funky cereals.
I couldn't. How do you remember what
so
it was
we had,
called?
no
but they were
frills.
like Holy Oats or some shit.
no frills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever it was, whatever came in the 10-pound bag.
Right.
Did
Feed.
you
That's it, whatever it was.
did you ever get sent to Key Food with food stamps?
No, we
You
went
kidding me?
every day. We got
All
a
the
better
time.
story. Rich, tell him.
Go
Yo,
ahead.
Tell him.
You kidding me? That's our allowance every week. My
We-
mom used to give us food stamps
Oh,
for allowance.
yo, you could trade that in for like 8 batteries at Radio Shack. You know,
Yo,
We were in the free battery club at Radio
Yeah,
Shack.
yeah.
They used to
Yeah.
stamp it out for you, give you 1 battery a month.
And I had 3 up my arm while they were handing me that.
Yo, you'd go over, you get the food stamp, and you go over to one store and you
Uh-huh.
buy a quarter item, and then you get the change,
75 cents because
and then you go to another store,
Mhm.
right.
and then
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
people
get the
think
change.
we're lying when we say
Uh-huh.
shit like this. I'm like, listen to me.
No, you have no idea.
You don't understand.
Tipsy Doodles? Yes. Those are quarter? Yes. 1 bag.
One bag. Yeah.
And
Is that a 5 in food stamp? Yeah, it is. Give me some change.
Yeah.
yo,
Sometimes if they had the singles in the
Yeah.
food stamps, they give them back to you. But other
Yeah.
times you just get
it's
real
regular
money.
money
No, but the worst is your mother would send you the Key Food,
Crazy.
and the cutest girl from
would be the cash.
Oh, yeah.
Would be the
East,
cashier.
East 20-something Street, and she's in your class in
Yeah.
Shell Bank, and
Yeah.
you're
And she's
trying-
working at the store, and
No,
you're walking in with food
no,
stamps.
she's with
You
her
want to
mother.
crucify yourself.
Oh, she ain't even working.
She's
with her
behind
mother.
you, and you're like, no, you could go first. And they're
Right.
like,
Oh,
no, Michael, you could
You
go.
only got
Yeah.
one thing. Go.
And you're like, I would be, I'd go,
Mortified.
oh, I gotta go. I just leave the food laying there, go home, take the ass,
Take the ass whooping.
ass whooping,
That's right.
like,
Nah, I ain't getting up.
or how about this? You had the money, no one was around, and then your mother gave it to you out of the book. And they would go, you can't use this if it's ripped out of the book already. And
Right.
you're like, oh no. Here you go. And then you get to school and
Yeah.
you had to beat somebody up
Yes.
and say
Make sure they didn't tell.
he's lying.
Yep.
He's
And,
like-
they would say, I lied. I didn't see him with food stamps.
Yep.
Even,
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Even though
That's how
they
the-
saw you.
That's how the fight started at school.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, there
we,
was a
saw,
few
we
of them.
saw you using food stamps at the store. Fuck
Yeah.
your mother.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I'll never forget.
You would get raw like right
Yeah.
away. As soon
Oh,
as one
yeah.
of them kids would say something like that, he'd be like, that's all right, because
Yeah.
I'll kill you in your sleep.
I was telling my wife I was in 3rd grade.
People with food stamps are crazy.
Yeah, but I was true. Yo, don't mess with him. He's got food stamps.
Stamps.
I seen it. Nah, really? I seen
Yeah,
him with a
seen
$10 one.
Oh no, they was green.
Yeah,
They was green. The
green
purple one was the 5,
Yeah, yeah.
and the brown ones was the 1s. I
I
still got 2 of them at home.
No shit.
Word up.
Sentimental value.
Yeah,
that's
man.
better
Just-
than the token, like an old token.
I got a couple of those too.
With the Y in it, right? Remember had
Yeah,
the token?
I
Yo,
have
we
one,
never
I have
paid.
one, yeah.
We never paid to get on the train.
Almost
When we
never.
lived on Avenue M, we snuck.
Oh,
Yo,
Uh-huh.
the train used to run by our kitchen window when we lived.
Word.
Yeah,
Hey, there's the train. Everything be rumbling.
yeah. Oh,
Yo, you know you're poor
yeah.
when the ceiling in your kitchen caves in one day from the rain.
From the-
Remember?
Oh,
Wow. But you know,
fuck.
you
Oh, I can't.
listen, I call it the boy named Sue syndrome.
It is.
Whatever happened to me was like my daddy named me Sue and left me to defend myself.
Yep.
So whatever we went through, called me Sue. I'm a boy named Sue
Yep.
Right.
because you had to make do. Your mother would go like Ricky Wilson's my best friend. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Oh, rest in
Rick.
peace.
Rest in
Rick.
peace, Rick.
And Ricky and I had, it was mainly his
Charles still around?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he hit me up on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
Oh, Ricky
So
and
he
I
left.
were inseparable. Joined at
Charlie
the hip.
Watt.
Yeah, Charlie
Wow.
Watt.
Charlie Watt.
Hazel too.
Yeah.
Hazel.
Hazel.
God rest her soul too. She's
She
gone,
was
right?
Hazel?
Is
No,
she?
I think
Yeah.
Hazel's.
Oh, yeah? I thought she
I'm
passed
not
away.
sure.
Oh, well,
I'm not sure.
well, that was just for when it happens, Hazel.
Hazel,
we,
no,
we
we
got
sorry.
you covered.
Yeah.
All right. But
I could have sworn.
He had a joke book, and if I had a Yo Mama contest coming up, he'd be behind me whispering in my ear. One day I won a contest because he said, "Just say I went to your house, ask your mom what's for dinner," and she said we're having roach-a-roni, and everybody went, "Oh,
Roach-a-roni, nice."
Oh, and we
That's a
won.
good one.
We celebrated, but then my mother tells me, Ricky punched your brother Tommy. I'm like, but Tommy's a pain in the rear end. She goes,
Right.
you have to go out there and hit
And
Ricky.
get Rick.
You have to.
We set a whole theatrical thing up. I
Oh,
said, Ricky, I need to punch you in the stomach and kind of sell
Make it look good. Yeah.
Right.
But Ricky was stubborn. He goes, yeah, I would like to see you punch me.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah. We know Rick.
Yeah, I had to really punch him. It brought tears to my eyes. He went down. I thought he was faking it, but it really hurt him. And then his parents came to my house, and my mother had a yogurt with her and threw the yogurt at his mother. We were all friends. We were friends.
Jeez.
We were friends. The next day, we're in the back of the building. You know,
Arguing and yelling and screaming. And isn't that funny though? Like where we're from, taking your families back is just the way it is. It wasn't. It was no other way.
Yeah.
There was no other way.
Mm-hmm.
If something happened and somebody messed with you, your brother had to, or your sister, or you all had to go and take care of it.
It's okay. Yeah.
There was no talking behind nobody's back, no bullshit. You went straight to the person and you duked it out.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. So many people, let me tell you, a lot of these people are gone now. You know, that's another thing I try to convey to my children, that there are so many of my friends who are no longer with us, but I think they have to live through it to believe it.
Yeah.
And we don't want them to. We don't want them to suffer that much because you know, I've been to a lot of too many funerals.
Too many.
Right. Way too many.
Way too many. Yeah, you know.
Way too many. Rest in peace, K.
Yep, K Born.
Yep.
God bless, man.
Yo, we had Lester. I was good friends with Lester too growing up.
Lester was one of the funniest dudes.
And he was one of the funniest dudes ever.
Shit.
Big shout out to all our boys too. John couldn't be here. He'll be here next time.
Yeah.
John, Dave Tuma, James Lee.
James.
Yo, big shout out to the Lynch family and all them guys. Hancock family. We're gonna do this again. We got to get a bunch of people on here. We'll get to see if we can get some more heads too. You know,
round two.
Yeah.
Oh sure.
We definitely got to do another one. We growing up, we were so tight. I mean, I know there's distance and lives and everybody's stuff gets in the way, and sometimes it's hard. But this right here is a good way. And that's one of the things I always talk about, this YouTube and the social media, internet thing. The great thing about this is that this is something that will be locked forever now.
Yeah.
So this discussion, us talking, and
So it's set
here.
in stone.
It's here now. And I like that idea. And that's kind of like the way I feel about growing up.
Hit the water.
Where we grew up is that, we really did have such a tight knit community. Believe it or not, we could.
Yo, is that a short hair in the water?
Short hair.
Short hair?
I never touched the water.
Is it?
Man.
Is it short hair?
Just when you open it, lean it to the side and let gravity work for you.
Oh man. So we had a lot of spots around in the neighborhood too, right? Like we hung out X's the spot.
Yeah.
That was another. I think it was X's the spot was like candy store, but mostly drug dealing. Mostly drug dealing.
Yeah.
It had 2-3 video games in the back. They sold only like Snicker bars
and Dipsy Doodles.
Yeah,
and there was a hole in the back wall that you got changed for the video game.
Right.
And it was called X's the Spot. And the windows were spray painted black. You couldn't see in, you couldn't see out.
Yeah. I have to hold a lot of I have to hold a lot of things back tonight.
Avenue X.
That's that Avenue X size.
Yeah.
That's why my block was called Ghost Block, because we was on the back side.
Yeah.
Right, back in the corner, right? Yeah, nobody went over there.
Nobody went
right.
there. Nobody went. That's why.
Unless you lived on that block.
Oh well, when my family moved out and I was able to. The only way I could get out of the double building, because my double building, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody.
Oh, you know who lived in your double building that I went out with? Millie Perez.
Oh, Millie, yes, very beautiful. All the sisters, very beautiful.
I went out with Millie Perez.
Yeah, they're very, very, to this day, very lovely people. And but Danny,
Millie.
Danny is a great friend of mine.
Yes.
Yes.
No, the whole family. I love them.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
The mom is wonderful.
The whole family.
And Willie B, Michelle Ellaby,
Yep.
Letty's a
Letty's.
pediatrician.
The Riveras lived in my building. Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are
Love my peeps.
families that
Yeah.
produced
Annette.
doctors. I mean, we have
Yes.
doctors that came out of our
Our
yeah.
neighborhood.
lawyers, and
Oh,
school teachers, educators,
Yes.
principals.
Big time.
I think Benjamin Ward.
TV
TV
star.
star.
TV star.
Yeah, there you go. There you
know,
go.
Right out of the projects, baby.
Right out.
Ben Ward was, I think, the
3631.
first black police commissioner, and he actually came from the Sheepshead Projects or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
but
That's what's up.
yeah, we had a lot of people come
Like,
out of the
like I said,
projects.
we live in Ghetto Fabulous.
Yeah,
You know,
but in that, here's the thing I try to explain to people. My children can't understand that I'm one of 7 and haven't lost a sibling yet.
yes,
But most often,
Lucky.
anybody they
Mhm.
meet that I know lost a
Yes.
sibling. And it was just always a tragic thing to know
Yeah.
that, you're going to another friend's because their sibling was your equal friend. And then suddenly they're asking you, can you help carry the casket? And you're
Yep.
like, I didn't even know. I'm kind of emotional. Now you got me coming out of here, holding
Yeah.
one end. Yeah. But we lost a lot of people. I remember Mike Mason was still alive
Yes.
and
Yeah,
Bob
Mike
passed.
Mason.
Rest
and
in
Bob.
peace. And then Mike went. Mike was my best friend growing up. He taught me not to be afraid of anybody,
Yep.
know. And
Mike
so-
Mason, what a
Yeah.
great man.
Yeah,
How
correct.
about Pia's Pizza? Of course, that's my love.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Rocco
Rocco.
Mazzaferro.
Can't believe he's gone.
Miss you. And George got
you know
rid of the
they
place.
gave-
George,
they gave
he
it up.
sold it.
Yeah,
I
he
found that out,
finally
man.
he was like, I'm so happy I'm going to retire.
Yep.
I rode by one day and I saw it. I said under new management. I was
Yep.
like, what? Under
Yeah.
new management?
He sold.
Nah.
Hey, listen,
It was time.
it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. George is there forever.
Yep. I'm not going to speak poorly of the projects now. I actually was, I was upset when they put these lights in for years. And I had a few students in my gym class that lived in the Sheepshead Nostrand. And I was like, listen, those lights must be killer. And they said, it's just not the lights, it's the sound of the generators,
Right.
They had
Yeah.
generators running lights probably
Mhm.
3-4 years. And,
Yep.
And what I'm not going to get into why scaffolding stays around a building for 10 years.
Yep.
But people learn to live in the projects with scaffold. That would have never went on when we were
Never.
there.
No, definitely
No,
not.
that would have been fixed.
Our
right
parents
away.
would have been nuts.
Yeah.
If you broke a
Very
window,
different.
break a window with a football or a baseball by 1:00,
It's
the
fixed.
maintenance guy was in putting putty in.
Yep.
Because
We
It
had
was done.
casement window
Mhm.
back
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
until they had
Oh,
the
yeah.
big window change. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
That was
yeah.
a big deal for
That
us.
was a big deal.
Mhm.
That was
It
a really,
happened to be really cold that day too.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I remember
On
that.
our side, anyway.
Oh,
You
your
guys,
side, yeah.
you had it done
We
what the
got-
year before
I think we was the
or the year after,
we was
whatever
the
it was.
after,
Mhm.
It's crazy.
because Sheepshead side always got things done first.
Did we?
Once I
we?
learned that one of
You guys got the white windows. We got the brown ones.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I moved to Ghost Block, I took 2232, right? And out of all coincidences, 3E, which was the front of the building windows, and 3F were both open. And I told my girlfriend at the time, I'm taking 3F. I want to see the grass back there. I want to be able to see, the football field we were playing on. And I don't want to hear loud people in the summer
In the
out front.
summertime out front.
Because it's going to get wild out here.
Yeah.
Right.
You can hear the echo around the building going, who touched my baby girl?
no.
It was starting. I was like, shut the windows and ducks. Somebody's baby girl got touched or something. And nobody touched anybody's baby girl.
I know.
It's just the girl went up there crying. The man pushed her for breaking a bottle in the park. But so I picked that one, and then I had a girl come over in the security car for the co-ops across the street. It's one-way street on Bragg.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
The guy saw her and started backing up, shining a light for her, and she was like, "Oh, you live on a block that has private security?" I was like, "Yeah." Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's right.
Funny as shit.
I went
Yeah.
riding on the coattails of the people. That car makes 4 right turns
Right.
year after year. I don't know how they even balance the tires out on that thing or rotate them. It's just full. It's a one way.
Isn't that funny? Like right across the street from where the projects were, he had 2 buildings that were like highfalutin co-op buildings,
Co-op,
underground
private
parking.
security, underground parking, and then
Right.
2 right on the next corner you had the
Yeah.
PJs.
Yeah, you know how you knew someone was visiting because they had underground parking, but let's say somebody came to visit and they got parking on the project side.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be coming out of there looking
Checking
like
for the
it was the end of the world. You know, it's the zombie apocalypse, and they'd walk across the street to us. And I would always joke and go, "It's okay.
Don't you worry about it.
I'll stand.
We'll keep a good eye on your
Right.
car."
Like nice chain.
Right.
What is that? 2 carats? You know.
It's a really good store around the corner if you're looking for a pack of cigarettes.
Jaffa.
Funny as shit.
Yeah, we got Jaffa. We got the red zone. You know, I have so many funny stories. I could go on with the neighborhood all day, but
I love the fact of having the opportunity to grow up in that type of environment. The idea of love and what people feel for each other. I don't know. It's crazy. My feeling is always when you go into a certain area, especially like when you're in the projects, like everybody is so aware of everybody else that's there.
mm-hmm.
You know, if somebody on the other block got hurt, something
Mhm.
happened or what have you. And I find that in like other communities that maybe are a little more affluent, people are not necessarily interested.
No.
Like here, I'm living in this
Right.
neighborhood or whatever, and
Yeah.
nobody's really like, I'm living here at shit in this house
Mhm.
8 years, and nobody's really my immediate next door neighbor, but nobody's really interested about anybody else.
Same here. Yeah, in my neighborhood as well. Yeah.
You know, the people live on your block, but it's not the same. Like us, you grew up in the building, like you could,
Right.
we could hear somebody leave from the 6th floor, and as if that person took the steps, you by just the sound of how they run, walk, or whatever, you could tell who it is.
You knew who it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the time time that the elevator goes up
Yep.
and down.
Yes.
You can hear it.
Oh, Mr. Smith is leaving
Yeah.
today already.
Yeah.
5:30.
Yep.
And elevator running down.
Elevators running,
Yeah.
and that's crazy.
The only schedule I see in my neighborhood now is like clockwork. You know, I don't even need to wear a watch. I just kind of open my shade, and here comes the Albanian girl from down the block with her Shih Tzu, and while she's texting, it pees on my lawn.
Right.
Now that's a battle you don't want to get into. Just deal with the little burnt spot, because if you say something to her, then you know the brothers and the uncles.
Oh
gonna
yeah.
come.
Oh, the Albanian. Yeah, there's 17
you
of them in the
did-
house.
Yeah, don't even go there.
Yeah.
Just keep tending to your lawn and do what you can. That's just because she's gonna be texting with the dog, with her back to the dog, and but
Right.
I'm like, you know, my daughter goes to say hey, and I'm just like basically, did you see the size of her father? And they own a roofing company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They're gonna make tiles out of me.
yeah,
Yep.
no, you know, once they own that roofing company, you know, that's it. Don't play with them, man. But that's how the neighborhood is. That's all you'll know. You know the person whose dog pees on your lawn. It's like, you know,
What about old timers there?
oh,
We don't do it anymore, right?
Nah.
we were the last one I went to. A young kid started licking shots off the roof.
No way.
Yeah, so the cops came and acted like we old school cats were the one who were out there busting shots, you know. But we had like 8 COs in our midst, but they're not
They
admitting
don't
it.
care about
Yeah,
that.
they don't
Yeah.
care, you know. They just
Ridiculous.
kicked us out the park. So we went to the gazebos because you can't truly kick us out of a park.
Right.
We'll just take it to the gazebos.
Right.
You know, and then we're over there.
That's project goal. So now you can't kick us out of that.
Yeah, you know, and because V is actually Parks Department. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
right.
give you tickets over there. Yeah. But
On V, that's where we played softball. Always had the softball games over in
Softball, handball.
And the
and the basketball. Yeah,
basketball,
Yeah.
handball,
yeah. V was was
a
really
little versatile.
a lot busy.
That's
Yeah.
stickball.
Yep. Yep.
Just
Against the handball courts.
Ask the great Linwood Malloy.
Mhm.
Play stickball on their courts every day.
I love stickball. Through my arm, probably my shoulder is messed up to this day from stickball because there's no weight to the ball.
Yep.
You're just
Right.
like throwing.
You're
you
throwing
gotta-
your shoulder every
you-
time.
Yeah, but when you caught somebody,
That's a Spalding for everybody out there that doesn't know.
remember when
Or
somebody
the blue, right?
Well,
Or
when
the blue
when they were
ball,
pink.
yeah.
remember somebody would split the Spalding and the game was over. Like you would go to field a ground ball and you're chasing 2, your
Yep.
eyes are crossing, and then you realize, man, and you just all walk, you know, back to the building and sit there, and, you know.
But stickball was the shit.
Yeah, if somebody hit it far, you
Yep.
know. And it couldn't break a window. And anytime it hit a window, there'd be an old lady.
Yep.
And you know, God bless these women. A lot of them had the tattoo on their forearm from surviving the
Yeah.
Holocaust. They would stick their head out the window, and they had some colorful language about a little rubber ball hitting
Right.
their window. And I was like, Mrs. Epstein, I'm so sorry. And if it was the 1 in a million shot that hit the curtain and then dropped in the house, you weren't getting it
You
back.
didn't get it back.
No,
You didn't get it back.
yeah. No.
Who else did we have on the block? Yo, we had some great at the center. We had some great times there.
Oh,
We used to go to the center. Sometimes on Fridays they'd have the movie.
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jeff Taylor, rest in peace.
Yeah,
big
big
My
Jeff.
boy.
Big
rest
Jeff.
in peace. And
Yep.
and Linda,
Mhm.
what's her name's mom, who at the end was running the center.
Mm.
Linda,
Yeah, I know who.
come on,
Oh,
her daughter. Her daughter.
She was just talking about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
You know exactly who I'm talking about. I forgot. Danielle. What's her name?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, and her mom towards the end. Well, we were talking about Lucho before.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Lucho. yo,
Lucho used to
kill
drive the bus
Uh-huh.
for the handicapped kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he would come to the center and
And
drive
leave
with the kids in the
leave the
bus.
kids
Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
double park.
Yeah.
Coming, yo, he did it a bunch of times.
Wow.
He used to come in the
Oh.
pizzeria when
Yeah.
I worked in the pizzeria for a little while.
Yeah.
And he used to leave
Crazy.
them outside, and he'd come in and eat pizza. We'll share with us. Blah blah.
And all
Meanwhile,
the
the kids
kids
be
are
in
in the
the.
Wow.
And I'm
Yo,
like,
killing me.
yo, what are you doing? He's like, they don't really
They don't know. They don't know. I'm having some meat.
A lot of people don't know Lucho was on an Army Ranger.
Yo,
And,
funny dude though.
Yeah, but Lucho was funny and I was funny. So two class clowns. I
Oh.
leave the Marine Infantry and he leaves the Rangers, and we'd just be on the bench at night talking about which one was tougher than the other.
Oh yeah.
And if we had somehow been drinking in public, not that we ever did that, it could get a little heated. And I'll never forget, I finally caught him. He said, "Yeah, did you ever have to dig NDPs?" And I said, "Night defensive positions? No, Lucho, we never go on the defense. It's always offense. Ever forward, tip of the spear." And he just
Oh,
was like,
no.
they had to grab us from each other. But Lucho was awesome. Yeah.
Love.
Tough.
We had great guys that we grew up with, man. I tell you, I wouldn't
The
trade
whole
any
class
it
of
for the world.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole spectrum from the crazy weird to the proper
Yeah.
to don't touch me
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the great sport, man.
to the great
Yeah.
To the great
sportsters.
sport, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
I had Jeff.
Everybody.
I had Jeff Broom on the show,
Mhm.
and
Right.
he's from the neighborhood. I had him on the show. We did the entrepreneur one.
Mhm.
I'm always talking with Jeff. I speak to Jeff a lot.
Mm.
Well, probably not as much as I should, but
Mhm.
we talk every once in a while. And I really like that idea. I like the idea. Like I said, a lot of the guys that we grew up with, and it was funny because we lived, right in the center of a lot of different neighborhoods. So we became friends with a lot of different people outside the neighborhood too.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yep.
Which was important. I think
Yeah.
the immediate area where we were really understood the the commonality in just getting by and living.
Yeah.
It just made sense.
Yeah.
And it was a great place to grow up.
Yeah.
We had the Y. We did that for a little bit.
Right.
Mhm.
The Y, the center, like you said, with the movies.
Center with the movies.
Watch the
It was
movies
funny.
sometimes is hysterical.
Yeah.
Sent
But there was a pool
after
table.
School, the after school.
Yeah, we would go to after school. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's where they had that's where you went for your cheese.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you waited
Oh.
online for your government cheese.
The
And we
half-
would change clothes. Mom would make us change clothes to go back and get
Yeah.
another block.
Yeah, I love that cheese.
Go get Oh, it was-
I will-
everybody, the whole project smelled like grilled cheese for the
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
I would take a block of that now. I'm not kidding.
Yes, that was good stuff.
cheese.
Yeah.
I
Yo.
don't know where it came from, but
I think it was mostly Plasticell.
yeah, it was like cheese products.
It was like cheese.
It was
Yeah.
like cheese.
Yeah,
I think that's what they called it. It's yellow like cheese.
yeah, it was,
Which is
yeah,
good. It melted really well.
But
And you can
listen,
melt it on anything.
Did
Yeah.
it? Did it really though?
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it
Well,
really though?
listen.
Did it really?
Well, the
Or-
molecular makeup of it just kind of looked like it melted.
Or did it? Or did it take on another life form?
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
It's very much like that.
It got us where we're at today.
No joke, right? You get the cheese. What else they give us? Butter sometimes.
Yo, but how about the free
No,
lunch?
Peanut butter.
Peanut
free
butter.
peanut
That's
butter.
right.
Yes,
The
peanut
peanut butter.
Yeah, but how about the free lunch truck? If you missed it,
In the summertime.
Oh, that was the best thing coming home from church on a Sunday.
Yeah.
but
Stop in the park, get the free lunch.
Free lunch.
everybody's eating, and
Make
I
it back
missed
to the
it.
block, right upstairs, because got mom's
Right.
keys,
Yep.
changed real quick.
And then go
You
back
missed
out.
out. You went to the bathroom.
No, worse than that. Like you would,
Sunday football. Baby.
Yep.
I would.
Yep.
Everybody's eating, and I'm like, where was I? They go, you were playing with a Tonka truck in the dirt on the other side of the building, and I'm like, it's not even my Tonka truck, And everybody's eating, and you're just trying to look like you're hungry. So maybe somebody and your best friend probably wouldn't even offer
you nothing. It was crazy.
They were hungry. Yeah. I mean, they got funny stories. I used to get hijacked by girls to turn double Dutch. Like Dolores Smith. Dolores Smith ran every year. Dolores is still an amazing human being, and she was the fastest person in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood.
Fastest person like in the state.
Yeah, and she
Right?
would run and
That's-
win.
She was
the Colgate games.
Yeah, right.
And like,
She was no joke.
I'd go outside and she'd have an end of a rope tied to a fence and she'd be turning herself. And my mother again would send me the key food to appetizer. And I wanted to get some herring. And I'm like, Jesus, Mom. And some white fish. And I'm like, all right. And Dolores would kidnap you, make you turn. And then chew gum. You had to chew gum to have the rhythm, So like one day she said to me, you can't jump because you got no rhythm. So she goes, here. Sticks it in my mouth, and I'm like, I'm not arguing with her because she could.
Right, not only could she run, she could get.
And then your mother looks out the window, finally going, "You're back," and I'm like,
I didn't go yet.
Go yet? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm double-handed, Mom. Dolores is trying to correct my double-handedness, And the worst thing to be accused of in double Dutch is being double-handed. That you have no equal rhythm because the person who messed up didn't mess up. It's supposedly the
it's
turner.
you, the turner.
Yeah, so
crazy.
Like, then another girl would come out like Renee Duncan.
Yes.
I'd be like, thank you, Lord Renee, for being there.
And she's like, get out of here. I'll show you how to turn.
Double-handed idiot. Now the girls
Great.
I didn't want to see me at Key Food are finally up. And they're behind me. The cute girls, like Italian and Jewish girls, we call them. That's how we spoke to Italian and Jewish girls from the neighborhood. Would be behind you looking to see how you're paying. And you're like,
food stamps. I didn't care. Hey, listen to me. After a while, I had no shame. It didn't matter to me.
No.
I was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Because Mom would give you the food stamps. She'd be like, you could just buy yourself something too, like so we could get chips or something like that. We could get something that you would normally get if she sent you to the
Twinkies,
store. You could get
double dogs.
if you had to use the food stamps, you could get something that you wanted. So it wasn't horrible. I remember that.
Man. And trying to work your way up to the next brand of sneaker that gave you more status. You started over like PF Flyers, and then some Pro Keds.
How hard was that
with
though?
the Keds?
That was
then
the thing.
Pro Keds.
And then Pro
very,
Keds,
very hard to up your status.
And then when you got hard shell Adidas,
you would have shit. I still wear shell tops. Still my favorite sneaker ever.
Those
I still wear them all the time.
Yeah,
I wear my Pumas.
And
I was glad when those came back.
Blue suede Pumas.
I got
Pumas.
I got blue, black, and red. No.
Yeah.
I got 3 pair.
I'm an Adidas freak.
I gotta get some more of those.
That was it. Like once because I worked in Royal Sporting Goods for a while.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So once I got my taste of this, I was able to buy the shell tops at a discount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. I was just Adidas head.
Yeah.
Everything I had, the suits, everything.
That.
I still am. I'm still an Adidas guy.
I remember your Cannondale bike era.
Yeah. I love that thing.
Man,
I rode that thing everywhere.
You were amazing on that
Loved
thing.
it.
I thought you should have been in the Olympics.
Yeah. Me and fucking what's his name in the Tour de fucking projects.
Yeah.
The Tour de Ghost Block.
Darren Wise.
Darren Wise.
Darren Wise.
You couldn't get him off his bike.
He hits me up on Facebook every once in a while.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yep.
Brother D.
When he comes down, he brings his bike with him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He drives down with the bike in the trunk.
Oh, nice.
Pops it up.
And that's it.
On the bike.
The handlebars are this big.
Right.
That big,
right?
yeah, that big.
Yeah.
That big.
On a fixed bike.
On the fixed derailleur.
Yeah, the shit
With all the front
don't
brakes.
stop.
Yep.
Right.
Right. You put your foot in the front tire.
Yeah, he might be the most likable human being.
Yes,
I've
one of the
ever
most
met.
likable
one of
human
them,
beings
yes.
I've ever
Without
had.
a doubt.
Yeah,
The guy,
I mean, nice, decent.
For sure.
yes.
You
For
just can't
sure.
say enough. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of people like that. Here's another topic. We're grown, and I'm living in a project still.
Listen, I'm grown, but I ain't grown up.
Not fully. never fully.
Look,
yeah. We'll never
The goat that's smoking.
Yeah, but
That's how grown up I am.
Right.
Yeah, the neighborhood started
You ready?
changing a bit. I do remember I would like come home from work, right? I was working at Tilden and I'm a phys ed teacher, and it was pretty easy back then. You know, they really didn't bother you for lesson plans, just
In case anybody doesn't know, phys ed means physical education.
Yes. And I taught high school health, you know, everything
Ooh,
that
you smell like phys ed.
yeah. Yeah. And these kids
Stick them in the locker.
yeah, I mean, you know, you cannot dislike even the worst behaved child,
No.
you know, because they were really, you're looking in the mirror when you're looking at somebody who was just belligerent. You're like, oh, there I go at the same age, you know.
Right.
And
Hey, I remember that. I've seen that somewhere.
but my mother would say, "What's wrong with you today?" I go, "No, it was kind of rough at work. The kids mean to you? Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I wished it on you. All the things you did
You
as
were
a kid. Yeah,
hot on.
Yeah.
And
you
listen to me.
deserve it.
How hard? Listen to me. But how hard were we on our parents? Like we ran the streets.
My
Yeah,
Like, it
mother-
was
we were
no
in the
bullshit.
streets,
Like,
right.
They didn't curfews. No, we didn't really believe in them.
no clubbing
No.
Clubbing, we did it all
till the sun came up.
Yeah. out on the block,
Yo,
late, getting into trouble. Always.
I remember learning the 52 blocks, and I had about 27 down pat. And my mother came in to give me another one, and I did this, and she hit her elbow. I don't know what made her do this. She just stopped, went to the phone, and called my father and said, "Your son just hit me."
Oh,
and I was
no.
like, "She punched my elbow." I learned, do not try this 52 blocks with your mother. I'm like, down.
Yeah.
She just went with like wider looping things. Like she switched from the spoon to the extension cord, because when
Yes.
it hit your arm, it then wrapped around.
Got you.
And it was like, you know, and you had because she folded it, you'd have U-shape overlapping U-shape marks on you, you know.
My father was the
Yeah.
best though. He wait for you to start running away, and then he just reach.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
you know.
and I don't know how.
I
but
don't know
his-
how he did it.
His arm would grow like an extra fucking foot
Yeah,
or some
yeah.
shit.
Because he know he didn't have that short swing on you, so
Right.
he went. He'd be like, "All right, I know how to time that right."
But back.
Dad was a big guy.
Big.
You know, George Foreman's first pro fight, and you had to be next to the man to understand, his
Yes.
presence, you know.
Yeah.
And just I would bump into him here and there over the years. You could never avoid him, and it was just such a gentleman. But he
Yeah.
had this. You were an altar boy when you got around Big Don, because
You only stood at attention.
you didn't want to embarrass yourself, and if you embarrass yourself too much, he kind of like would put a very reassuring
Grip
hand
on your shoulder,
yeah.
Right? That was my father's
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I got a little inebriated, and I
Yeah.
went to one of the
He
diners.
stretched the arm out to grab your shoulder, and
Yeah.
Wait a second.
he'd be like, "Hey, we want to refrain from any language or
Well,
thereof."
I got a great one. I get out of the Marines, and I was boxing in the Marines, and I go to a place of all places, Bath Beach bodybuilding,
Yeah.
and Big Don is
Was
in
that when I was in there and he was pummeling my face?
I go in there, you're getting waxed,
Yeah.
and then he's folding the bag in half,
Yeah.
right? And this is a legitimate,
And I got 2 black eyes,
yeah, he's a legitimate
a bloody lip, probably.
professional boxer. He fought at a level where he fought George Foreman, and you know, that muscle memory, that leverage is there for life. And Seamus McDonough was
When he trained
training.
Seamus
He
McDonough
trained
when
him.
he fought Alex Stewart and
Yeah.
Holyfield.
yeah, and then Holyfield,
And then
So,
Holyfield.
yeah, and Seamus was really working up for that fight. He was a cruiserweight, and
Yep.
we would go watch Seamus at the Madison Square
Square
Garden.
Garden.
And I won't repeat something Seamus said. He didn't mean it. It was gym talk. Somebody gave him an egg-sized lump on the back of his head, and we asked him how he got it. And what he said became one of the best one-liners that I still use to this day. I won't say here, but I always use it on my children. And you know, when they're not washing up or whatever, I'll tell you another time off air. But it was
What do you
just-
mean?
I gotta.
Fuck you mean? You got to tell us what Seamus
All
McDonough
right, all
said.
right. Remember in Rocky, you had Spider Rico, and
Yeah.
Spider Rico was known as the dirty Puerto Rican fighter. So you know, Seamus, Kevin and I go to see Seamus. I'm friends with Seamus, and Seamus is a pro. And Seamus tapped me in the liver, and you know, you're on the floor, right? So.
Yeah.
He just
Good fighter.
Yeah, he had the mechanics. He was a wonderful human being, and he still is to this day.
Hey, you know what's funny? A lot of people, well, if you don't know Seamus McDonough, but Seamus McDonough was a world class fighter, boxer. But he also is a very smart man. He has like a master's degree in St. John's. Like, the guy's got a lot of depth about him, and he just loved the fight game,
Follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah, he went through some ups and downs, which is typical with boxers and boxing in general.
Well, the fight game in general. You could look at any fighter and just know, listen to me, you got, there's something, first of all, there's something wrong with your head when you get in to, be engaging in stuff like that. Then the second part is that it doesn't get better every time you get hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
so it gets worse.
I've been concussed more than once.
It gets worse.
And they raise your hand, and I'm like, I have a concussion, and I
can't. I see 7 people right now.
I don't know why you raised my hand. I already told the guy, you got it, man. You won. And but Seamus is Kevin and I get to the garden, and Seamus, we didn't know if his fight started or not. And I said to Kevin, where is Seamus's fight at? And suddenly Seamus is behind us, and he says, hey, Mike, how are you? And I said, oh, Seamus, you're not fighting? He said, no, I already fought, Michael,
Yeah.
And I said, so what happened? He goes, oh, I knocked him out, And then I said, well, how did you do? He goes, well, I got this on the back of my head. He shows me this golf ball size lump. And I said, wow, why did he do that to you? And see, mind you, Seamus is very educated and polite. And he was using gym speak, and he meant like a Spider Rico type of fighter. And he says, well, Mike, he's a dirty Puerto Rican. And I went, oh, wow. Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. Right. So, and he didn't mean anything racist by it or anything.
Well, that's what they called him.
Yeah. So yeah. He said he was a Puerto Rican gym fighter. Right. He was a New York City. Yeah. This is like one of the greatest Puerto Rican fighters that never made it in New York. But the way he's going to make it is by throwing elbows in there. So he pushed Seamus's head down and he hit him with the elbow.
Back of the head.
Yeah. And he almost knocked him out with the elbow. And with that, Seamus followed up like the next round and just knocked him out.
And what's funny? That was his last fight after Holyfield.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Because, he knew, that was the end, and it was funny because,
right. He was already over. He was like 32 at the time too, right?
Yeah. He wasn't young.
Right.
But, hey, listen to me. You have to be smart enough to get out of the game and to be smart enough that you're ahead of the game. So getting out is just a way of being smart about it. And he knew it, because he knew the sport was also changing. At that time, that's when the sport started changing. And UFC started becoming introduced and stuff like that. And everybody in the boxing world knew things were going to change. So Seamus was like, this ain't going to be my career. I know that. That's why, college and being in school was important for me.
He was a natural cruiserweight anyway. He was in Bobby Chez's division at the time, and Chez was on the backside of his career. There really wasn't anybody for Seamus to fight. He had to throw weight on to fight.
Yeah, to fight Holyfield,
of course. And it made his legs drag in the ring. And he did trip a few times when you're trying to bring your foot forward.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But listen to me. This is coming to a close. We've been on the air already an hour, fellas. And it doesn't even feel like it, right?
No, not at all.
It usually doesn't.
Yeah, it's great.
Feel like sitting on the block.
Yeah,
right.
What's funny,
this is what
I think about this because, we did this as kids. We would, be in front of somebody's building. I see it, I feel it in my bones. Like summertime, sitting on the benches. They still had the wood rails with the concrete seat part, and they had the wooden rails, and we'd sit outside
for hours on end.
Hours on end.
Well, it's still like that on my side.
Yeah.
Still like that.
That's so great.
Yeah.
But didn't they cover up the football field?
No.
It's not.
It's
wasn't separated.
Still dirt and grass.
No.
They didn't put a path through it.
I thought they put a path through.
Oh, good. Well, when do you want
my block?
When do you want to play?
Well, we got to get a game, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, crutches,
bring all the
crutches
kids.
and wheelchairs. Yeah, you sound like Woodsy.
Yeah.
Bringing my.
But we'll,
walker.
hopefully that'll come about one day.
Yeah.
Now listen to me, folks. This is the part of the podcast that I love the most, and especially when I'm sitting amongst family and friends. My little ritual, and that's the fortune.
There you go.
This
So
looks good.
everybody, this is a fortune. There's 4 of them here. So they go in the center. They go in the center of the table, and everybody takes one, but don't open it. So everybody take a fortune cookie, but don't open it. And this is great because I haven't been doing the podcast and I've been waiting for this, right? Now don't open them and pass them to your right.
There you go.
And the idea is that much like we did growing up, you want to pass your good fortune. You want to give your good fortune to somebody. And somebody was asking me this the other day about the fortune cookie, and what the meaning of the fortune cookie is this. When you have
I hate to interrupt you, but the thing is,
well, then don't.
the thing is, we don't. We pass the fortune to the right because we always pass the duchy
To the
that's
right
the
too.
side.
I love that.
On
That's
the-
so fantastic.
Left hand side.
The duchy to the left.
Right.
That's why he
Pass
ports the
duchy
fortune
upon
to the right.
left. Right. That's
why the fortune goes to the right.
right.
Yeah.
So now the idea is that you're getting good fortune, right? Because that's what this is. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be giving you good fortune. So
Yeah.
what you're doing and being an honorable person is you're
Passing
volunteering
good
your
fortune.
good fortune to somebody else, and that's why
I like that.
you don't open your
I like
own
that.
fortune cookie.
Uh-huh.
So open up. Let's see what we got.
Oh, here comes the reading glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. This
The
is
broken
the reading,
ones.
You
the
remember,
reading glasses.
you remember we never needed any
Yes, I
reading
do.
glasses
I do.
at all.
And one day we'll be saying, you remember when we didn't need a walker or a wheelchair?
In true gym teacher fashion, I noticed I was holding the Delaney cards out here.
They're still called Delaney cards?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, they don't use them like they used to. They still say eyes,
like
ears, skin. Like you're supposed to grade the kids on blackheads,
Wow.
Yeah.
pimples, but you would never do that.
No.
You know?
All right, T, you're up
Yeah.
first.
I'm up first.
Mm.
All right. You will share great news with all the people you love. I like that.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
Yeah, I
It
like
has
that.
a lot to do with the gathering here today, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It just fits.
There we go. Here we go.
Come on, Mikey.
51, 1, 3.
Take off the
That's it.
shades.
No. It's, let me see. It says, you'll seldom experience regret for anything that you've done. There you go.
See?
Oh, yeah.
You can't.
Thank you for the good
Yeah,
fortune.
You see what I'm saying?
I will keep that.
Rich, what do you
Nice.
got for
I'll
us?
keep that.
You're going to keep them
Forever.
because you're going to initial them and they go on the wall.
All
Look,
right, there you go.
They go on the board.
Oh, all right.
So everybody initials
All right.
them and it goes on the board.
Good. All right.
You're leaving me your good fortunes.
Good.
This is what keeps the good fortune circulating.
I like this concept.
So what do you got, Rich?
You have many special gifts. Go experiment with them.
Nice.
Oh, I'm a screamer too.
Uh-huh.
And the fucking goat has spoken.
You're so right about the spit guards. There's stuff all over this fucking thing.
I told you, you
No, I see.
dirty bastard. I got no vellies
He said he
catering.
doesn't like cannolis, but there's cannoli on there somehow.
All right. So here we go. You will find great contentment in the daily routine of activities.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
Just
kind of agree with that
stay busy.
to a little bit.
Yep. Just stay busy.
You know what I mean? Being
Stay
content
busy
during my
and you
daily.
bring back the projects.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with the idea
Got
that.
4 today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
8 the next time.
Word up.
Yeah.
Got a lot of room.
We have a lot of room.
Plenty of room.
It would be nice. You know, I mean, the idea is that this is a continuum.
Mhm.
That's how I always feel about my podcast. My
Yeah,
podcast. So this will be the ending for the day, folks.
Mhm.
So growing up where we grew up and being from Brooklyn, there's a certain, should we say, je ne sais quoi about us Brooklyn peeps. We love each other.
Oh,
and
you
we-
from Brooklyn? You ain't French.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. It's just the way it is.
That's right.
Despite Big
It
Rich's fucking dumb
Got
nuts.
you right at the end.
Um,
Got you.
But the idea is, no matter what, no matter where, no matter when, if you are from a certain area and you really do appreciate your hometown, you understand what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So make sure your community is the one that you take care of.
Mhm.
That's the one that counts. All your friends, all your family, you gentlemen here today with me, and you know my message, and that's every day is a good day.
Yep.
And if you give a smile, you're going to get a smile. Give a bunch of them smiles out there. Again, Fellas, I can't say thank you enough.
Nope.
This has always been wonderful.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Rich,
thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
love, peace, and hand grease.
Yep,
Yes.
there you go.
Let's shake it up, folks.
Do it the Brooklyn way.
Here we go.
Good night, folks.
Yep. Good night. Good night. Remember, you were young and hungry, and you wanted to eat that fortune cookie.